Welcome back to BallySpring. Now you've probably noticed that BallySpring's looking a bit different right now, and that's because we're on BallySpring from FS25 instead of BallySpring from FS22, and we're going to have a little look see around this map. I'm not going to show you everything. A, the map's far too big, so the video would be way too long if I tried to show you everything, and B, I want to leave a lot of things as a surprise for you to discover anyway, because half the fun of this map is discovering different things. I'm going to show you a few things as we go around now and tell you about a few things as well. So the first thing is this building here, you can go in there, you can wander inside the building, go into the offices and things. It's worth having a wander around there to see what you think. Now another interesting thing is when I downloaded this map, I put the Toyota Land Cruiser, that anyone who's seen my Arley Farm series will be familiar with the Toyota Land Cruiser. I put that in here, and I put it in here just as a placeholder really, because I knew that sometime in the next few weeks there was a new Land Rover mod coming out. I thought, well, for any British or Irish farm, Land Rovers are perfect. And there were a couple of Land Rover mods out for FS25 already. I wasn't happy with any of the ones that were already out. For starters, they were all left-hand drive ones, and not really ideal. I just wasn't too happy with them. So I had to put the Land Cruiser into this map, really just keeping as a placeholder for when the Land Rover came out. And blow me down, one day after this map was released, the new Land Rover pack came out. So I'm rather pleased about that, and we will be driving around in a Land Rover today. Now, let's take a very quick look at this Land Rover mod while we're here, because this is a brilliant mod, and I want to show you just because it's so brilliant. So when you go in, it looks like that. Now, when you go in there, you've got a choice for a few different Land Rovers. So first of all, the Land Rovers, this model Land Rover came in what was called a Land Rover 90 or a Land Rover 110, and the number refers to how many inches long the chassis is. So the 90 was the short wheelbase 2-door, the 110 was the long wheelbase 4-door. So you've got a choice of a 90, which is the short wheelbase pickup truck, the 110 station wagon, the 110 pickup truck, or the 90 station wagon. Okay, so that's the first thing that's really, really brilliant about this mod, is we've never been given the choice of having the 90 or the 110 before. Now, you will never see on any of my maps any of the 110 pickup trucks like that. And the reason you won't is I've never ever seen one of these in real life. And yes, I know Land Rover do make them, so it is real, but I've just never seen one. So on my maps, you're bound to see some 90 station wagons, you're bound to see some 90 pickup trucks, and you're bound to see some 110 station wagons, but that's all you'll be seeing. Okay, now there are a couple of downsides to this mod compared to other Land Rover mods. The pickup truck, you cannot have the aluminium canopy on the back. That's not an option with this. In the same way with the station wagons, you cannot have the versions with no windows on the sides, where it's just metal all the way along there. You've got to have the windows. Given the advantages that this mod has over the other Land Rover mods, I'm willing to go with no windows and no canopy. That's not a problem at all as far as I'm concerned. So let's have a quick look. So with the mod here, let's go to one of the 110s, because they're the ones you probably haven't really seen before. Okay, you can choose between fuel injection or the V8 petrol. The fuel injected diesel or the V8 petrol. Okay, you can choose different rims and things. There's a few different rims available there. Okay, you can choose between left-hand drive and right-hand drive. So depending on what country you want to use this mod for, you can still have it left-hand drive if you want. Okay, you can choose beacon lights, you can choose strobe lights, you can choose decals, which is the defender stripes there. Now, this also comes as either a Lizard something or other or a Land Rover Discovery. So if you're on console, you get the Lizard version, because obviously they don't have a license for Land Rover. And if you on PC, you get the Land Rover version, which is what we've got here. Okay. You also get work lights on the front or back. You get checker. I'll show you what checker is. It means you have aluminium along the bottom of the sills there, and also on top of the mudguards there. I personally don't like the checker, so we'll be going without the checker. Okay, but you have the option of checker if you want it. On the station wagons, although not on the pickup trucks, which is true to life, you get the option of a spare wheel on the back. Okay. In real life, I think on the pickup trucks you'd have the option of having it on the bonnet, but you just don't get the option of it at all here. You can either have it with no bull bar, or there's 3 different bull bars you can have. Oh, sorry, that's the roof rack option there. I missed bull bar. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can have a roof rack with a ladder on the back. You can have a roof rack without a ladder. This time we're going to go with no roof rack. We can have side steps. We can have tinted windows or non-tinted windows. We can have mud flaps. Okay, and we can update the colours. So, for example, let's go with the dark green, which is a fairly common colour for Land Rovers. Okay, so then the wheel arches here, you can leave them in black, or you can change them to body colour if you want. There's no reason to change it to any other colour apart from body colour or black, and I think I prefer black, so we'll just change that back for a second. Okay, the roof, again, you'd either go with a white roof or a body colour roof generally, although in actual fact the one thing I actually do normally, instead of having a white roof, I generally go with the beige roof. It looks a wee bit, it's not quite as glary as the white, makes it look a wee bit older and things, so that's what I do. Rims, you've got the black rims as standard. You can change that if you want silver rims. You could have it like that. Another thing that looks quite nice in my opinion is to change it to be body colour rims. Look quite nice as well. And of course you get number plates front and rear. Okay, so Land Rover mod, can't recommend it enough. As I said, you get long wheelbase or short wheelbase, so it's brilliant. And we've got one here already in a dark red colour with the rims done to match the body colour, as I said, and the beige roof. So we've got this one in right hand drive, so we'll wander into the other side and let's start checking out this map. Okay, now, and it occurs to me I forgot to turn my steering wheel on before I started recording, so you're going to get that beep in a second. Okay, let's go for a little drive. Okay, there we go. Now, because this is still BallySpring, you're going to, if you're familiar with BallySpring for FS25, all the roads are in exactly the same places, going the same places, so it seems very, very familiar. You know your way around because all the roads are in the same places. But every single farmyard has been reworked, and just about every other kind of yard there is, like the where you buy the vehicles from has been reworked, petrol station's been reworked, so all the different yards have been reworked, but all the roads are in exactly the same places still, and paddocks are still in the same places as well. Now the first place I want to show you is just down here, and this is a contractor's yard, and I'll show you why that's so great. Let's open the gate first of all and listen to this. So those gates are desperately in need of some oil, and I think every gate on the map gives you that sound effect. I really, really like it. One thing with this map, you will have to learn patience, because every gate and every door on the whole map seems to operate very slowly, so don't be in a rush. Now what I like about this contractor's yard is, you may recall that when I was playing on Carrigart map, I chose not to be a farmer per se. I decided to be a contractor instead, so I owned a house that was in town, and then I had a shed with some tractors and things in it for doing different work. And I didn't actually ever own any farm of my own. So having a contractor's yard like this, it means that you can either start out, you can either play the whole game not being a farmer, not owning any land of your own, and just being a contractor if you want, or if you want to do a, you know, one of these ones where you have like a progress that you're trying to make, you could start out as a contractor, not owning any land of your own, except for just contractor's yard here, instead of you building up money to be able to buy your own farm. And that's the kind of thing I think might actually really appeal to Fury Machine Gaming, starting as a contractor and then becoming a farm owner in the long run. Now, with every farmyard on this whole map, okay, there's no, like, I can't get diesel from here because there's no, what's the word I'm after? The little, the bright green circle things sort of thing. So it doesn't work yet. Although the gates will work, none of the doors will work. And the reason why is I don't own this property. So if you don't buy a piece of land, the gate into it will work, but nothing else will work. So none of those things appear until you buy the land. Okay. Now if we go to the map for a second, as I said, it's a very familiar looking map. Now on FS22, you might recall I own the dark red farm down here. So I own these two fields, I own all these fields going across here. Okay? I've decided I'm not going to do the same farm on FS25. I'm not exactly 100% certain which farm I'm going to do yet, but probably either the blue one here or the lime green one up here, and I'll explain shortly why it's more than likely going to be one of those two. And the blue one down here I have bought for now just so I can show you some things on the farm. That's why you can see all the icons there. So none of those icons show up until you buy the land. Okay, so now let's head out of here and we're going to go to the pub next, and there's a reason behind it, and it's not because I want to get you all drunk. But as we're driving to the pub, I really just want you to have a look at the scenery, like the weeds growing along the sides of the road and those trees. The graphics on this, it's like going from playing a PlayStation 1 game to playing a PlayStation 5 game. I've got to be honest, I'm probably not ever going to play BallySpring on the FS22 again, even though I've still got that game save. But just this one, it's 100 miles ahead of FS22 in terms of the graphics. It's just so incredible that, yeah, I'll be playing, when I want to play BallySpring, I'm going to be playing on FS25. I'm sorry, I just don't see myself going back to the FS22 version of BallySpring after seeing this map. Okay? It's funny because when I downloaded this, I was thinking to myself, I'll probably play FS22 and FS25, both of them, for at least 6 months before changing over completely to FS25. But having said that, I ran into a very good friend of mine, a friend that anyone who watches my videos will know very, very well and be very familiar with. And the friend's called BallySpring. Okay, and it turns out the BallySpring map is also out for FS25 as well. And I'm going to do a separate review on the FS25 version of BallySpring, and in that next video all will become obvious as to why I'm doing another video for that one. But as I see it now, the only map I'm really missing is Arley Farms, and if Arley Farms comes out on FS25, then unfortunately for me, FS22 might be consigned to the bins of history at that stage. But at the moment, well, there's no Arley Farms on FS25. I will still be playing that on FS22. But yeah, I can't see myself ever going back to this map on FS22. I can't see myself ever going back to BallySpring on FS22 either. But I'll go into that more in the next video. So here we're at the pub. And the reason we've come to the pub is I want to go down into the public bar and have a listen as we go into here. And I hope I don't get a copyright strike for this or anything. I just want to show you something in here. If we listen carefully. Okay, we'll head back out of there again before I get a copyright strike. But yeah, when you're in the public bar, or when you go down the other end of the lounge, the dining area here, you will discover that there's Irish music playing. And there's at least 2 different songs. I've only spent about 10 minutes in the pub. I was investigating upstairs and everything, still having a look at all the different rooms upstairs. So I spent about 10 minutes listening to music in the pub while I was exploring the pub. I never heard the same song twice, and I heard DJs talking between the songs, so I don't know how long the recording is for the pub there, but it's certainly, not just a 1 minute recording that's on repeat. And just having that Irish music playing in the pub just really helps to, immerse you in this Irish map. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I have been known in the past to listen to either the Pogues or the Dubliners whenever I'm playing Farming Simulator on my own. Both of those are very Irish bands. Pogues is spelt P-O-G-U-E-S, if you want to check them out. Or the Dubliners, two brilliant Irish bands. Really helps you immerse into an Irish map if you're playing Farming Simulator on your own and you're not recording for a video or something. Now, we're going to head down this way next, because at the end of the day, this isn't Pub Simulator 2025, it is Farming Simulator 2025, so let's check out a wee bit of the actual farms and things. Now, I'm still just absolutely blown away by these graphics. I mean, I know that I'm an FS25 virgin, okay, so I know I haven't played FS25 very much at all, but I have watched a lot of videos, like I've watched all of Fury's FS25 videos and things, so I know what the graphics are like and things. I'll tell you what, this map just blows anything else away that I've seen on FS25. It's just, this map is leaps and bounds ahead of any other map I've seen on FS25. It really is, it's just incredible. Now, we're going to head down here, because as I said, I have bought a farm on this map, and I bought it, is it that one I want to go down? I think it is, yes. I bought a farm just to show you some more of the features, because although the graphics are far and away better than anything else I've ever seen on this map, the graphics are not the only reason that you'd want to play on this map. And so I'm going to show you some other stuff. And as I said, there's so much of this map that I'm not showing you, and that's deliberate, because I want you to be able to explore the map for yourself and find things for yourself. But I'm just going to show you a few little things. Just sell you on the map, basically. Actually, I haven't covered off, though, the one and only downside of this map. And it's not really a downside, but let's have a look at the one and only downside of this map, and I'll show you what it is and why I don't consider it a downside. Okay, so if we go in here for a second, now, just get rid of that. So that's the best way I know to get out of the game without actually quitting the game. Okay, so if we go in here, on my FS22 maps, for example, okay, on my Arley Dairy Farm, I have 46 mods downloaded to play Arley Farm. Okay, on my Ballincraig Dairy Farm on FS22, I have 47 mods loaded. Even on my BallySpring map, which is the one where I use the most mods, and I use a lot of mods on this one, on the FS22 one, because I've got the neighbours set up as well, and the neighbours all have their own vehicles, so I need mods downloaded for that. It's not just mods for my own farm. And even on that one, I've got a whole 65 mods downloaded for BallySpring FS22. Okay, well, on BallySpring FS25, these are the mods you need to play the vanilla version of it. So this isn't any extra tractors, it's not any extra cars, it's not that Land Rover, it's nothing like that. You need these mods really to play the game. Well, to be perfectly fair, you need about 24 of them are necessary to play the game, and then there's some that are recommended, highly recommended. So for an example, okay, if there's one there that's called Watergate. So what Watergate is in some of the farms you'll see grates in the ground with drains under them. Now that's been programmed into the game, but you won't see it if you don't have the Watergate mod. There's another one there with sugar beet shredder. So some of the farmyards will have a sugar beet shredder there, but if you don't have that mod downloaded, it won't show up in the yard. You just won't know it's there. So my attitude is, if they've taken the time to put those details into the map, we should really, for the cost of an extra 6 or so mods downloaded, we should have those in the game. So yeah, just to play the vanilla version of the game with no extra tractors, no extra trailers, nothing like that, you're going to have 33 mods downloaded. Now these mods also come from all over the place, so what I've done is I've created this folder here with all 33 in it, and for anyone who's a subscriber of mine, and I know who you are, you know, you put comments against my videos or whatever, so I know who you are. If you want to play BallySpring FS25, instead of going all over the place looking for all the different mods you need, give me a yell, I'll send you this folder, so you've got all 33 maps, all 33 mods at your fingertips like that. Now, it doesn't mean that by the time I've got the tractors in that I want and the cars and I want and all that, I'm probably going to be getting close to 100 mods. I might even exceed 100 mods, and it'll be the first time ever if I do exceed 100 mods. But the reason that there's so many mods for this map is because everything is placeable. Okay, every gate, every stone fence, every wire fence, every building, not just the buildings on the farms, the buildings in the town, all of it is placeables. And the reason it's done that way is it means that you can remove anything you want. So if you don't like the way a farmyard's set up, delete all the buildings and then add your own the way you want them. Okay, the whole map is just full of placeables, so you can basically remove anything. Now at the moment I've obviously got all these icons turned on just to help me while I'm learning where things are on the map, but you can turn the icons off, of course, once you know where to find things on the map, and the things will still work, you just won't see the icons there. I've got them on at the moment simply because I'm learning where things are on the map still at the moment, okay? And as I said, none of those icons will show up on any yard until you actually buy the yard. So this one here I've bought temporarily in order to show you. It doesn't mean this is where my final farm is going to be. I haven't decided for certain about that yet. Okay, but we can go in here and I'm going to show you a few things on this farm that I just want to show you here. Okay, so yeah, it's got all the icons there at the moment. As I said, I'm just learning where things are on the map still at the moment, which is why I want the icons there. But once I know where everything is, you can turn all those icons off, so the things will still work, but you don't have icons there to kind of ruin the realism a wee bit. Okay, now let's head in here. Okay, yep. Now I might close that gate again. I mentioned to you that so this farm one right now is the blue one. I mentioned to you that I'll probably either end up farming on the blue one here or the lime green one up there, and I'm going to explain to you in a second why it will probably be one of those two that I end up farming on. Okay, so here we have automatic sweepers in the barns. So a lot of the farms in the game have these, not just this farm. So yeah, you'll see these sweepers in a lot of the different farms around the thing. You see, so you can work it like a scraper there. Why does that seem to have stopped moving? I don't know why it stopped moving there. What have I done wrong with this? I'm not sure why it stopped. Anyway, you've got the automatic scrapers on the farm. They definitely do work, because I had them all running before, so I don't know why that one suddenly decided it wanted to stop there. But that's one of the things I want to show you in this barn. Now, if we go through here, I'm just going to jump this gate, and we'll open this one. Come on. Okay, so the reason that I bought this farm to demonstrate to you is because, as far as I'm aware, and I haven't looked around the whole map, there's about 10 maps on the farm. As far as I'm aware, there's only the 2 that have these milking parlours like this. Okay, which is why I'm probably going to choose one of these 2. But let's run down this end of the milking parlour for a second. Over here, we can remove the concrete grates here. And you've got the where the cow poo goes underneath there. Okay, now I do recommend you don't leave these grates out, because if you fall down there, you cannot jump out. It's too far down to jump out, so you'll end up having to tab into a vehicle to get out of there again. That's the only way I've found of climbing out of there if you fall in. Okay, you don't have to use a pump and hose trailer from there to empty it, because there's also a little square one there, so you can put a hose down there to empty it out. Okay, so that's the two different ways of emptying out all the cow poo as that fills up, either through the little square grate there or by lifting away the grates there. Now again, lots of the farms, not just this one, a lot of the farms on this map have the concrete grates here you can remove, but as far as I'm aware, there's only 2 farms on the map that have this milking parlour. And now I'm going to show you the milking parlour, and this is just incredible. Remember, all this is on top of having the incredible graphics. Okay, so you start by turning on the pump there. There you go, we hear it starting up, and after you turn that on, you'll see a light appear here. So then you have to go and turn on this bit, like that. Then you can go down to the milking parlour itself, and this bit here lights up. So if you hit that one, the first 2 cows are now going to appear here. There you go, they're coming in, and they're going to go into the parlour to be milked. Okay, and once those 2 are in place, then this next one here will light up. So just let these ones come on in. It might just come out here so we can see it a bit better. But for me, and I mean, you know how much I love dairy farming, having a working milking parlour like this is just absolutely brilliant. It really is. I couldn't have asked for something better. Now, one thing I don't know, because obviously I haven't really been playing this map very much yet, so I don't know whether you actually have to go through all of this, setting up the cows and everything in order to get milk, or whether the milk will just automatically start appearing regardless of whether you actually go through the motions of doing this or not. Because I enjoy dairy farming, by clicking this one, I'm now going to get the next 2 cows come in, and when they've come in, I can go along to this next one here and press this one to get the next 2 come in, and so on until the whole milking parlour is filled up. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I don't know whether you actually have to go through this job with the milking parlour to get the milk, or whether the milk appears regardless of whether you actually do this or not. I suspect it appears regardless of whether you do this or not, but it gives you the option of doing this each morning if you want to add to the realism of running a dairy farm. And since I do want to add to the realism of running a dairy farm, you can guarantee that I am going to be doing this every morning. I'll be coming into my milking parlour and getting all the cows in. Now, I'm not going to fill up the whole cow shed right now. I have done it before to make sure it all works, okay? But the way it works is you can only bring the cows in 2 at a time like this. And so once those next 2 cows are all set up and ready to go, then this one lights up. You press that one, the next one will light up once the next 2 cows are in, and so on and so forth. You can see the cups there sucking the milk out of the cows, so, and you can see now the next 2 cows coming in, one on each side. So I've also explained how that finishes off, but we're not going to stop there while we fill the whole cow shed, because it does take a good 5 to 8 minutes, somewhere in there. I haven't actually timed it, but I'd say between 5 and 8 minutes to fill the entire cow shed and get all the cows from the cow shed milked. But once you've filled up the cow shed and you're getting all the milk, you can come over here, a light will light up over this yellow hose, and you can click on that, and that opens these gates here at this end, so the cows can then come out and back through here and back through this gate. You have to open this one. You can see the sweeper's working now. It's swept half of here already, and I don't know whether it stops halfway and you have to go and, I think you have to tell it to restart once it reaches the halfway point. Oh, no, now I've got it going the other way now. Oh, there we go, that's what it is. If you click it twice accidentally, the second time you click it, you're telling it to change direction. So that's why it appeared to stop before. So you see this one's still going, so I only clicked it the once. You see it's just sweeping all that mud down. It goes into these grates and it ends up in that underground bit that we looked at before. Okay, so all these sheds you can sweep out all that mud by hand, you know, either using a broom type thing or using a scraper on a tractor, I'm sure, but it's got built-in automatic scrapers there to do it for you. Okay, so as I said, once we've finished filling up the cow pen and we're ready to do the next two now. Okay. So once it is completely filled and all the cows have been milked, then an icon will appear over here by the yellow hose. You go and click that on that one and the cows will start filing out of the milking shed. And then after all the cows have left the milking shed, then you can go back in here and you can turn the pumps off again. Okay, and they'll stay off until the next morning when you come turn them on. So yeah, we'll leave that there, doing the cows, because I don't want to spend the whole video just showing you how the milking shed works. But just the fact that this map has all of that kind of detail, it's just incredible. It really is. And that, remember, is on top of the really incredible graphics you get. So I cannot recommend this map highly enough. Okay, is that? Oh no, that's not where my Land Rover is. Can't remember where I've parked now. Must be out this way, I think. Is that way? Maybe over here somewhere. Oh yeah, because I left those gates open, so there we go. We're out that way. And down here's the Land Rover. And of course, once we've bought the farm, all of the sheds everywhere, the shed doors, will all work. So again, these would not work if I didn't own the land. So if you can't get the doors to work on a farm, it's because you haven't bought the land yet. Okay, now jump in here, and actually this video is now half an hour long, so I will actually stop the video now and leave it there. Yeah, but I cannot recommend this map highly enough. This map is just brilliant, especially brilliant if you want to do dairy farming, but brilliant regardless. Okay, even if you're not interested in having the working milking sheds and you're not interested in doing dairy farming, this map, just the graphics of it is incredible, and we've only just scratched the surface of it, but hopefully you've seen enough of it to want to try out some more. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.